Did you know that some moths are bioluminescent, glowing in the dark, just like fireflies? Indeed, while not common, a few moth species have developed the fascinating ability to emit their own light. This glow is not just for show, it serves several critical purposes in their survival and behavior. Bioluminescence in moths is primarily found in the larvae or caterpillar stage, though in rare instances, adult moths display this characteristic as well. The light produced can range from a soft green to a vibrant blue, depending on the species. This luminous feature is primarily used to deter predators. The sudden glow can startle or confuse potential threats, giving the moth a chance to escape. Moreover, in some species, this ethereal light plays a crucial role in mating rituals. The glow acts as a beacon, attracting mates from afar in the dark forest underbrush. It's a unique adaptation that highlights the complexity and ingenuity of these nocturnal creatures. So these seemingly ordinary creatures light up their world in extraordinary ways. While butterflies bask in the sunlight, moths rule the night. But how do they navigate in the dark? As the sun sets and darkness envelops the landscape, moths emerge as the unsung heroes of the nocturnal world. Unlike their diurnal cousins, moths have evolved remarkable adaptations to thrive under the cover of night. One of the most fascinating adaptations is their highly sensitive antennae. These aren't just ordinary feelers, they are sophisticated sensory organs that detect chemical signals and subtle air currents. This allows moths to locate food and mates in complete darkness. Moreover, the eyes of a moth are marvels of nature's design. Capable of seeing ultraviolet light, their eyes are finely tuned to detect even the faintest glimmers of light. This ability not only helps them avoid predators, but also guides them to their nectar sources, which reflect UV light, making them easier to find in the dead of night. Moths truly have mastered the art of night navigation, turning the darkest hours into their playground. Imagine being able to blend into your surroundings perfectly. Moths are masters of this art. In the vast tapestry of nature, some of the most fascinating marvels are not always in plain sight. Take, for instance, the incredible camouflage abilities of moths. These nocturnal creatures have evolved an array of patterns and textures on their wings that allow them to vanish into their environments seamlessly. One striking example is the leaf mimic moth, with wings that bear an uncanny resemblance to green leaves, complete with veins and subtle discolorations. These moths can rest on a tree unnoticed by predators. It's not just about looking like a leaf, it's about becoming one with the tree. Then there are the bark mimicking moths. Their wings display patterns that mirror the mottled textures of tree bark. By aligning themselves perfectly against the trunk, they avoid becoming an easy meal for birds and other predators during the daylight hours when they are most vulnerable. Another fascinating adaptation is seen in moths that mimic bird droppings. While it might not be the most glamorous disguise, it's incredibly effective. Predators often overlook these moths, mistaking them for something far less appetizing. This mastery of disguise is not just about aesthetics, it's a critical survival strategy. By blending in, moths can avoid detection by predators such as birds and bats, which rely heavily on visual cues to locate their prey. In the game of survival, moths use deception beautifully, becoming nearly invisible to the naked eye. Bees get most of the credit, but did you know that moths are also crucial nighttime pollinators? While the world slumbers, these unsung heroes are busy at work, fluttering from flower to flower. The dance between moths and the nocturnally blooming plants is a fascinating spectacle of nature. Moths are particularly drawn to white or pale-coloured flowers that open only after dark, such as the evening primrose or moonflowers. These flowers emit a strong, sweet scent and often exude more nectar at night, which acts as a perfect moth magnet. The flowers' bright colours and strong fragrances are evolutionary traits specifically designed to attract their moth pollinators in the dim moonlight. This relationship is a brilliant example of mutualism. As moths sip on nectar, their bodies brush against pollen and carry it to the next flower, facilitating reproduction. Many plants depend entirely on this process for their survival and propagation. So next time you admire a blooming flower, remember the nocturnal efforts of moths that help keep ecosystems thriving. Silk is prized for its luxurious feel, but its origins are humbler and more fascinating than you might think. At the heart of this opulence is a modest creature, the silkworm moth. This moth, despite its unassuming appearance, has spun a narrative that intertwines with human history for millennia. The journey of silk begins with the Bombyx mori, or the domestic silk moth. This process starts when the female moth lays hundreds of tiny eggs. Once hatched, the larvae, commonly known as silkworms, embark on a voracious feeding frenzy, consuming vast amounts of mulberry leaves. This diet is crucial, for it is the mulberry that imbues the silk with its strength and luster. As they grow, these silkworms prepare to spin their cocoons, a phase that is both mesmerizing and critical. Each larva secretes a protein from its salivary glands, producing a continuous filament that can measure up to 1 mile in length. This filament hardens upon contact with air, forming the cocoon. It is this cocoon that will be harvested for silk. The extraction process is as delicate as it is ancient. Cocoons are carefully unraveled to produce raw silk threads, which are then spun, dyed and woven into fabric. This fabric has not only graced the courts of emperors, but has also become a staple in modern fashion, illustrating the remarkable versatility of silk. Silk's historical and economic significance is profound. It was once so valuable that it served as currency along the legendary Silk Road. Today it remains a symbol of luxury and elegance, a testament to the incredible capabilities of the humble silkworm moth. From cocoon to loom, moths contribute to one of the most exquisite fabrics known to man. Some moths are not just casual flyers, they're long-distance champions. Among these aerial athletes, the hummingbird hawk moth stands out. This remarkable species embarks on a migratory journey that can span over 1,000 miles. Imagine a creature so small yet capable of crossing vast landscapes from northern Africa to the Arctic Circle in Scandinavia. What drives these moths to such feats? It's a quest for survival, following the bloom of flowers, their primary food source, as seasons change. Their bodies are finely tuned for the journey. With wings that beat at an astonishing rate of up to 85 times per second, they can hover and sip nectar on the go, much like their namesake, the hummingbird. Moreover, these moths have a robust internal navigation system. They use the sun and the Earth's magnetic field to guide their way, ensuring they stay on course across continents. These moths aren't just fluttering by, they're going the distance, rivaling even the most renowned migratory birds. Across different cultures, moths are symbols rich with meaning. These nocturnal creatures have fluttered through the annals of folklore and religion, often carrying with them profound significance. In many cultures, moths are traditionally viewed as messengers. In some Native American tribes, moths are seen as harbingers of change, their appearance signaling a shift or transformation within the community. Across the ocean in Japan, the moth is often associated with the souls of the deceased, guiding them to the afterlife, a belief that highlights the moth's role in themes of death and rebirth. But not all moth symbolism is so somber. In European folklore, moths are sometimes considered symbols of hope and the persistence of the soul. Their relentless search for light is metaphorically viewed as a quest for truth and knowledge. Perhaps one of the most enchanting beliefs comes from Mexico, where the black witch moth is considered a symbol of luck, contradicting its ominous name. Moths flutter through the tapestry of human culture, woven deeply into our myths and stories. As we've seen today, moths are not just your average backyard insects. They are truly remarkable creatures with abilities that astonish and inspire. Let's take a moment to recap some of the most fascinating aspects of these nocturnal marvels. Firstly, moths can be luminous. Some species display a mysterious glow, making them visible in the darkness of night. This bioluminescence is not just captivating, but also serves as a defense mechanism to deter predators. Speaking of night, moths are the unsung heroes of the night shift, actively pollinating plants while most other creatures are at rest. This nocturnal activity plays a crucial role in the balance of our ecosystems. Their mastery of camouflage is nothing short of spectacular, allowing them to hide in plain sight from potential threats. And let's not forget the silk spinners among them, whose fibers have been prized for centuries in textile production. Moreover, some moths are record-breaking flyers, capable of traveling vast distances, and they hold deep cultural significance in many societies around the world. So, next time you spot a moth, remember, there's more to these creatures than meets the eye. They are small but mighty contributors to our world.